Welcome to True Crime Therapy. Today we're taking a dive into current Amber Alerts and human trafficking situations in the United States. I found a really cool tool that I'm going to show you, and this tool gives us real-time data on these events. Let's look this over and help bring these kids home. The global incident map, as you can see, gives event data in real time, presenting current up-to-the-minute events as well as older events. Let's take a few minutes to look around and search through the data below. As I mentioned in a previous video, I live in Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh, so the data will include a lot of this area, but don't you worry, I will show you around for a bit too. What you're seeing now is the listings below the blinking map, presenting names, dates, and places where the missing was last seen, such as in Texas, Florida, Michigan, all over the United States. You can see many have been found. Some are still missing, and browsing it even shows if they were found deceased, such as Ryan Akabusi, listed here from Richmond, Texas. When scrolling around the page, you will see lists of canceled alerts, found and still missing. Let's do a Pennsylvania search in the Pittsburgh area and see what they have listed. All we have to do is put in the search criteria, then another map will begin to load up for us. Here you can see many recent missing children from the Pittsburgh area have been found. However, you see right here that Alice Irankanda has not been found yet and was last seen on July 28th. Tayshawn Battles not found yet, missing since June 29th of this year. So how about if I clear this particular search and get back to alerts for the entire United States to see what's listed all around in other states? If you have a state or some data you would like to see from this, in another video, please let me know and I'll be glad to pull up subscriber suggestions. Let's continue exploring the data, shall we? Look at all those blinking dots on the map. Here I added in the listing for two popular cases on YouTube right now, Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers' Amber Alert listings. These are kids, missing kids from all over the United States. Florida, Kentucky, Maryland, Texas, South Dakota. The list goes on and on, in every state, with real-time updates. This is every day in our United States that thousands upon thousands of kiddos go missing. Many of these children are never found again, some are found deceased, and well, it seems like they just vanish without a trace. Somebody knows where they are and we need to find them. Just look at this real-time data before we go any further. What happened to these kids? Who was in charge, watching over them and keeping them safe? In future videos, we will dive even deeper into names and further details on their disappearances. We could take a look at missing children listed for Ohio, or we could browse the list of maps I could pull up, but I am going to save those for another day. However, I do want you to be able to see what comes up on the human trafficking map. Right here, Under Additional Maps, you see a huge list. Remember, these are all current and up-to-date events on the maps. Amber alerts, border security, disease outbreaks, earthquake and human trafficking maps, hazmat and natural disaster events. All sorts of emergency alerts, all in real time. This global incident map site is very informative both here in the States as well as across the world. Look at all those events blinking on the map. Mainstream media isn't reporting all these things going on. Some of the events, yes, but what media outlet do you know of that covers all the missing and abducted children or the real situation of human trafficking, other than what you're seeing on these maps? Leave your comments below. Now let's take a look at what's listed under the human trafficking map for today. Again, remember I'm concentrating on the United States, but other countries can be viewed too. Look here, 17 arrested for human trafficking in Georgia, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. As we look at the list, there is a lot of effort going into fighting trafficking around the states. It's about time. People from all over the globe are trafficked not just for SA, but for slave labor too, as you will see further down the list. Human trafficking in all states: Tennessee, Florida, Texas, California. The list scrolls on. Look this over a bit, then we will move down below and see what information is listed on various events. Now let's take a look into what's going on concerning human trafficking in some of the districts and states. We can see here that the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. is working hard to combat human trafficking. In California, Murrieta, it shows that 13 were arrested in a human trafficking operation. In New York, an Instagram influencer was jailed in July for trafficking and slavery. Gosh, I wonder who that was. I have an idea, but if anyone knows, let me know in the comments below. Florida, Michigan, and here look down the list at Georgia, where 13 men say they were forced to work without pay. Human trafficking isn't just about kidnapping someone for SA or forcing them into prostitution. It also includes modern-day slavery, labor trafficking. It's very sad how someone comes to this country for a better life, then are tricked by some trafficker to either sell their body or work labor to pay off their travel debt, that in reality may never been paid off. Horrible at so many levels. Look the rest of this over, and then we can move down to the next part of the list. Human trafficking listings here reveal a lot. Massage parlors are listed a lot on here. Traffickers force those young ladies to work in their brothels for no pay, and get them addicted to drugs to keep control of them. It's sad. Normally, the language barrier and threats from their abusers keeps them afraid of trying to escape from their situation. They are young and afraid. The younger kids these traffickers are stealing are normally sold off quickly, so the sting operations that end up catching some of the traffickers are only catching the small operations. In reality, SA trafficking of children is a huge underground operation, and the real big international groups of sick, evil child traffickers rarely get busted because they pay off the authorities to look the other way. Now let's dive into human trafficking in my local area of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's loading up the map right now, and below that will be the ticker with further details for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. When it loads, you're only going to see events for the area I selected this time. Oh geez, right below it says Pittsburgh ranks 9th in new cases of human trafficking. Not much of a shock to me, as we are just a few hours drive away from Philly, and that's one serious area of trafficking. Please like and subscribe. Put your comments below if you would like me to make another video on this so we can take a deeper dive. Final note before I run off, to my dear, big sister, next time, I'll look over Florida data for you.